be your feelings.
Hey, good morning.
When you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when
Good
you flash.
morning.
When you play the game, man, you better know your options.
Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy.
It's getting too spicy, I ain't even had my coffee. I'm up early in the morning, time to get it in. Time to show and prove, show you what I've been doing. They saying fools rush in.
Good morning.
I try to get to know you while you're thinking that I'm asking.
I like to get it poppin' cause my sound is supersonic. I done came so far and it's early in the morning. Good morning, everyone.
Do some water on my face. Yeah, it's just another day.
Let's
go and stay.
Good morning, we are back. Welcome, Miss Boss Diva, DJ, Evan, attacking. I see you, alright. Let's go. Oh, you got your main back, April. Alright. Maureen, good morning. How are you doing? Hey.
Don't try to photocopy, you can never top me. I was born to be your winner, you can never stop me. Don't try to photocopy, you can never top me.
Emma, good morning, Don, good morning.
Don't be wrapped up in your feelings and be careful when you flash it. And when you play the game, man, you better know your options. Don't try to photocopy when you out here being saucy.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show started. You know what we came to do, alright? Dark Brad, good morning. Melissa, good morning. Welcome to the Thunderdome, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host. You know exactly what we are here to do. Good morning, Stacy Jones.
It's like a curse, and I can't escape it.
Let's go.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these rats. I'm like the
victoriously vindicated. Good morning.
Deja vu when I'm out here flying first class.
Let's go.
I'm on top of my game.
Head of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Let's go.
This is how it's supposed to happen
when you're rich and famous.
The algorithm turns to a maniac.
Yeah. Alright. I got those numbers on my spreadsheet. Benjamin. I was wonderful yesterday, Terry. Thank you. I aim to please, seriously. Nope, they don't. I say it with my chest cause I mean it. Tell them, Terry. They can't stand Zeus. Here it goes.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's last.
You haven't?
Shit was radical.
Oh, very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
It's like deja vu.
Zeus is way off the rails according to my critics and my detractors. Cut it out. Alright, DJ, let's go ahead and kill the music. Alright, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Alright, happy Monday. What is today? April 29th, 2024. I'm your host. I'm your pilot, and you know exactly what we are all here to do. Alright, but before we get started, let's take care of some housekeeping items. Alright, for those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. All right, and why do they call me Triple H? Well, the first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, all right? Listen, I'm so honest now, I don't even really need to hear from these Trump supporters to tell the truth about what's really going on. You know, yesterday I was talking to this Trump supporter. I said, listen, I know for sure you didn't buy any of the Trump stock. How do you know, Zeus? How do you know? Because if you really bought his stock, you wouldn't be on TikTok laughing and trying to promote it. Right, Terry. These Trump supporters trying to sell that Trump stock. Okay, show us you paid over $70 for it. Oh no, Zeus, I won't show you. That's because you're all a bunch of liars. All right. The second H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I'm humble. There's nobody more humble than me. Listen, if I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize. It just turns out I haven't been wrong lately. Listen up, MAGA. This moment we're in right now as a country, I've been telling you the entire time we were going to get here. I said, listen. When we saw Donald Trump breaking those laws, I said, listen, I don't know about you, but no one in this country is above the law. And Donald Trump will have to prove that he's innocent. I mean, because they're going to bring Zeus, they would never do it. There's no precedent for doing this to a former president. And I said, just you wait. Donald Trump will have to go face accountability at some point in his life. And boy, oh boy, weren't we in for a treat. They indicted him not once, not twice, not three, but 4 times, right? It might get him again out there in Arizona once the dust settles, right? All right. And so that's why I'm the second age is humble, because if I were wrong about all of that, I would totally issue a public apology. It just turns out I haven't been wrong. All right. And then we all know what the last and final H is, right? The last and final H is because I am and will always remain, you guessed it, the most handsome. Now, many of you are familiar with what we do over here on this side of town, on this side of TikTok. What we do on this side of town, this side of TikTok is very special. We hold our friends on the right, especially their cult leader, Donald J. Trump, accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds as well as their crimes. And believe you me, when it comes to dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds and crimes, our friends on the right, especially MAGA, they got a monopoly on it. It's ridiculous, but you know what? We're not going to let them get away with it. So listen up, MAGA. Any of you out here who are lactose intolerant, thank you, Karma, for the subscription. Any of you out here who are lactose intolerant, you know, you Snuggles graduates out there, do me a huge favor. Leave this live and go on about your miserable morning, all right? Because it's going to get hot in here. It's going to get really hot in here, and it's going to make you very, very uncomfortable. And that's exactly what it's designed to do. Because playtime is over, MAGA. It really is, all right? And so listen up, you traitors. If you don't like what I'm doing, you heard me. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country,
and you do,
if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
That's right. If you're not happy in the United States of America, you can leave. Stephen A. Smith is a traitor, and he has zero credibility in this kingdom, so keep those comments to yourself. Stephen A. Smith is a terrible example of what it means to be a person of color in this country. I mean, seriously, zero. He has negative credibility, if you ask me. All right, now let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. We don't got much time to be here. Yesterday I visited my friends on the right, and I've been getting a lot of messages, and it seems that a majority of Americans, they're still not understanding what's going on in that courtroom in New York where Donald Trump is fighting for his life, where he's fighting for his liberty, where he is fighting for an opportunity to remain a free and unconvicted individual. So I thought, let's explain to the American people out there once again what's happening in that New York courtroom. Donald Trump is in that New York courtroom because he broke the law. And a lot of you are like, well, what law did he break, Zeus? It's not illegal for him to make hush money payments. We all agree that that's not the illegal thing. The illegal thing, though, is that he falsified those business records in furtherance of another crime, which made it a felony. So you're going, well, what is the other crime, Zeus? MAGA, I got to ask you a question. Have you heard of something called election interference, MAGA? Have you ever heard of election interference, MAGA? Any Trump supporters out there? Do you know what election interference is? Because this is serious stuff. This right here is partially why, Michael Cohen had to go to prison. And this is why David Pecker had to get that prosecution deal where they can't incriminate him. They can't charge him for anything that he shares about what they did. Michael Cohen, David Pecker, Donald Trump, all in a room. Crimes are being committed. And guess who's benefiting? This guy, Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been benefiting from all these crimes, all these schemes. And so what I'm going to help you American people out there, those of you who are out there and paying attention, I'm going to help you understand just, why what Donald Trump did was very, very serious and why he definitely needs to go to court and prove his innocence. All right. And it starts with Hillary Clinton. All right. This is about Hillary Clinton. So let's go back in time and explore what I'm going to call an alternate timeline, one in which Hillary Clinton ascended to the presidency had Donald Trump not engaged in a series of hush money payments and falsified business records during the 2016 election. Let's delve into this hypothetical situation, if you don't mind. In 2016, as the presidential race heated up, Donald Trump, in an act of desperation because he knew that he didn't have the merits or the actual resume to actually win on his own, He orchestrated a covert scheme. Can you say scheme, MAGA? Say scheme with Zeus. To boost his election chances. This scheme involved hush money payments made by others to silence individuals who had damaging information about his behavior. These payments were intended to prevent negative stories from surfacing during the campaign. In other words, Donald Trump financed election interference so that he could win in 2016. These are the allegations, right? The allegations against Trump were serious. He allegedly engaged in a planned, coordinated, long-running conspiracy to influence the election through illegal expenditures. All right, he falsified what was in the books to hide the intent of what those payments were for. His campaign sought to silence those who could harm his chances of winning. Silence people like Karen McDougal, who we are finding out had a 1-year affair with Donald Trump while he was married to Melania, as well as Stormy Daniels. All right, to conceal his criminal conduct, Trump repeatedly and fraudulently falsified New York business records. These records mask the true purpose of the payments and obscured the extent of his involvement in the hush money scheme. These charges against him include 34 counts of falsifying business records, a serious offense that goes beyond a mere administrative error. Now let's compare this with Hillary Clinton's situation. We all remember it. During her tenure as Secretary of State, she faced scrutiny over her use of private emails for government business, right? You remember this? The FBI, they investigated whether she mishandled those emails, those classified documents. And while both Donald Trump and Clinton had issues related to classified materials, we all know there's a big difference. The extent of mishandling, and you know what? Trump mishandled far more material due to the hush money payments and falsified documents, all right? Clinton's email controversy centered on her use of a private server, but the scale was different. We're talking about intent, and we're talking about criminality. Trump was charged with knowingly, all right, breaking the law, all right, and in other words, obstructing justice. And the FBI concluded that, you know what? Hillary Clinton didn't act with criminal intent. All right. Trump alleged that Clinton's obstructed her own FBI probe. However, there was no evidence that politics influenced the decision-making process with Hillary Clinton. All right. So let's just be honest, ladies and gentlemen. If we could go back in time to 2016, there would have been a different outcome, right? Had Donald Trump not engaged in the hush money scheme and falsified the records, the 2016 landscape may have been different. You all remember this. This is what happened in 2016. Look at those states. Look at those states. We all know that had Donald Trump not broke the law, this would have never happened. Good morning, everyone. And this is the truth that MAGA refuses to acknowledge. This is why they continue. Thank you, Love Being a Nana, for the subscription. This is why they continue to rush to Donald J. Trump's defense while he's sitting in New York, all right? Because Donald Trump really did interfere with the 2016 election, and we all know it. Look at that, 232 to 306. We ought to put an asterisk, right? We should put an asterisk next to this election. You know what they did to Barry Bonds when they said he was taking performance-enhancing, things, right? They put an asterisk next to it. We ought to put an asterisk next to Donald Trump's 2016 victory, because as far as I'm concerned, he would not have won it had he not broke the law. He knows it, and so does his supporters. Hillary Clinton most likely would have been the winner if we were to go down this path and right these wrongs, right? So guess what I'm going to need you all to do this bright and early on a Monday morning, all right? You guessed it. Join me in kicking this show off the old-fashioned way. Join me by giving Donald J. Trump and the MAGA Republican Party what they deserve for robbing the American people in 2016. You stole the election from Hillary Clinton and the American people. You committed a crime to do it. And guess what? Payback's a dog. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving them a round of boos and shame.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
A lot of these Trump supporters, they don't like me. All right, and that's fine. It's fine that you Trump supporters don't like Zeus, Big Zeus, because it's not about you liking me. It's about you dealing with the truth. All right. Good morning, Yazzie. All right, and this is why I'm on TikTok the way that I am. All right. I cannot allow the lies to continue any longer. We're not going to sit back idly by and think to ourselves, you know what? Maybe MAGA will figure out. Maybe they'll figure out Donald Trump is a con artist. Maybe they'll figure this out. No, you won't figure it out. You are all willfully ignorant. Thank you, Rick. You are all, actually, as far as I'm concerned, accomplices. Every single Trump supporter that votes for Donald Trump, as far as I'm concerned, you are part of the crime. All right, and I'm going to make sure from here on out, I remind you of that. And I'm going to help you and I'm also going to remind the American people. Listen, if anyone believes that I'm making things up, you can always go back and look up everything that I'm sure. No, not just what I say, but any of the panelists who come up here. Feel free to go back and look all of this up. You're going to realize what we've been saying is true the entire time. All right, which is Donald Trump. He cannot win an election without cheating. Right. Whether it was 2016 or what he did in 2020. He lost in 2020, and guess what he tried to do? He tried to steal the election by weaponizing the DOJ, putting a fake elector scheme into place, and rallying up his supporters to try to actually overthrow democracy. This guy knows he's not a winner, and in 2024, he will lose again. You know how I know Donald Trump's going to lose again? Because MAGA knows it. All right? MAGA, let me ask you a question, MAGA. If he had to cheat in 2016 to win, right? He had to cheat in 2020 to win. What do you think he's going to have to do in 2024? But you know what? It's not going to work because we got our eyes on him this time. We got our eyes on Donald Trump and anybody around him. The moment you start lying and cheating, guess where you're going? Straight to jail. You know, these Trump supporters got this thing right now. We're going to be watching those voters this time. You know, we're going to show up with our little Trump trucks and we're going to watch everybody casting their vote to make sure there's no corruption. Newsflash, clickbait. We're watching you. We're reading your emails, clickbait. We're monitoring your social media. We're reading those DM, and let one of you traitors do something you shouldn't be doing. You will be sitting right there with your fearless leader in a jail cell, listening and smelling his nasty farts. Let's talk about, he looks terrible. You know, Donald Trump has to go to court once again. And a lot of these people are saying Donald Trump isn't going to make it. He looks very, very terrible, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you can't make this stuff
discussed extending an agreement to prevent Karen McDougal from speaking more widely about her alleged affair with Trump. Joining me now, Anthony Scaramucci, former White House Communications Director, founder of Skybridge Capital, and as of yesterday, congratulations, co-host of the podcast, The Rest is Politics. Yay! That's so great. We get to hear you all the time talking about these things. So, Anthony, my friend, you were involved in Trump's 2016 campaign.
Right.
You were in the White House when Trump won. What can you tell us about how far and wide Trump's alleged dalliances were known among staffers? And was there any direction on how folks should respond publicly to the...
Wait a second. He will. Trump lives rent-free in your head. Whatever your name is, K. Wilso, whatever. Knock it off. Don't come into here and project what's going on in your head onto Zeus. Own your own BS. Mike, listen up. You think Trump will be fine? I doubt it. Unless you're talking about he's going to be fine in jail.
Well, listen, honestly, it was never talked about. Was there an undercurrent that Mr. Trump had dalliances? Yes, there definitely was. I think he did a good job, frankly, of keeping that in a close loop of a few people. I think that the imposition on Hope Hicks and Sarah Huckabee Sanders is sad for them because both of those people are really good people. And this is what Donald Trump does to people. He puts them in this loyalty trap.
Right.
And so both of those people have high morals and they're good standing people, and then Trump forces his nonsense onto them.
Yep.
And then they now have a loyalty test in terms of dealing with what he wants them to do. And obviously this is what happened to Michael Cohen. And so one thing Mr. Trump is very, very good at, Alex, is moving the goalposts on people.
Oh.
I think what was most interesting about the testimony over the last couple of days is that David Pecker has seen this movie before, and so he was not interested in having the goalposts moved on him. He was willing to do a few favors for Mr. Trump, and then he decided that that was going to be enough from him. He wasn't going to be Mr. Trump's piggy bank. And so it's a frustrating thing because, listen, everybody's innocent until proven guilty.
Not
and
Trump.
This is a criminal case, so I'll just say everybody's innocent until proven guilty. But let's face it, people on that campaign team knew about the veracity of the facts associated with this case.
So what we got is Scaramucci once again confirming that the evidence that Donald Trump is being presented with in court, this is stuff everyone around him already knew. This wasn't brought by the Democrats, MAGA. This is all 110% Donald J. Trump's fault. And we're going to hear more and more because all of the witnesses are Donald Trump's friends and former employees. It's over, MAGA. It really is. So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Let's help MAGA understand that it is over for Donald Trump. And guess what? He's not looking too good. Ladies and gentlemen, join me once again in giving Donald Trump and his supporters another round of boos and shame. Yeah, they don't like me because I get out here and I tell the truth and I shame the devil. Look at this, MAGA. Look at this, MAGA. Look at that. Look at that. You see that? No strings attached. I am not a hand puppet. See, I know why a lot of you Trump supporters are upset with Zeus. But if you really drill down, you're not upset with me. You're upset with yourselves because the stuff that I'm saying, this is stuff you want to be able to say amongst yourselves or even to Donald Trump. But you know, you can't say it because the moment that you say it, nighty-night for you. Let's move it along. Senator Lindsey Graham says he will absolutely still support Donald Trump even if he is convicted. All right. Lindsey Graham said he'll support Donald Trump even if he is convicted of felonies between now and the 2024 presidential election. Trump, who is juggling his presidential campaign, is currently on trial in Manhattan over accusations he covered up a hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election. The hush money criminal trial against Trump is one of 4 criminal cases. All right. So while speaking with CNN's State of the Union yesterday, Graham told host Dana Bash that Trump will absolutely still have an ally in him if he gets slammed, adding, most people have written this off. They're going to focus on their problems, not a bunch of cases brought by liberals against Trump. Let's see if we can get Lindsey Graham on record, ladies and gentlemen. All right, being corrupt.
All right, go ahead.
No, just to underscore something you said earlier, if he is convicted, you will still support him and vote for him.
Absolutely. I think what's going on with Donald Trump is weaponization of the law. He's been prosecuted in Manhattan, one of the deepest blue state cities in the country. Georgia and Fulton County. Jack Smith is going after Trump, but Clinton and Biden. Anyway, I think most people have written this off. They're going to focus on their problems, not a bunch of cases brought by liberals against Trump.
Oh, so that's another example of what I mean when I say you Trump supporters, you can't tell the truth because the moment that you do, nighty-night, right? So Lindsey Graham, once again, is lying, ladies and gentlemen. Because guess what? A majority of Americans, we do care whether or not Donald Trump broke the law. because we do respect that position. You know, anyone that's trying to be president, we want to know because they represent the people. So Lindsey Graham, you were wrong right there, bro. Secondly, we know what you're trying to do. You're trying to do what all the other criminals in Trump orbit are doing, trying to set yourself up so that in the event he does become president, you might be able to get one of those coveted pardons that he'll be selling, right? Ladies and gentlemen, this country is an embarrassment because of Donald Trump and MAGA like it's never been. Never in American history do I ever recall this country being such an embarrassment to the rest of the world. So guess what we're going to do? Join me in giving Donald Trump and his supporters what they deserve, because they clearly are in Donald Trump's circus and they're proud of it. They love being an opening act in Donald Trump's crazy, deranged circus. All right, join me in giving them another round of boos and shame. Send them to prison already, right? I see we got some dissension in the audience.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave.
That's
you can leave right now.
That's you.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. Let's move it along. Does anyone still believe that Joe Biden is guilty of any crimes out there? No. Bad views. Listen up, bad views. I got some bad news for you, bad views. Craig, you still think President Biden is a criminal, huh? Well, that's funny, Craig. Zeus needs a little bad. Oh, absolutely not. Bad views, but nice try. You can keep all of that to yourself. The last thing I want is bad views around Zeus. All right, because I know what comes with bad views. Bad news. Comer and the GOP delivered what Zelensky refused to, and are hoping you all forget about it. House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer recently told GOP colleagues, all right, according to CNN, that he just wanted to be, quote, done with his 15-month-long impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. All right. CNN reported last week that the Kentucky lawmaker has already begun to set his eyes on other goals, ambitions to run for higher office one day, including potentially running for governor. He wants to be a governor now. In a Sunday, April 28th op-ed published by MSNBC, author wrote, allies want the public to somehow forget. We're talking about James Comer. James Comer wants his allies and the public to forget about the probe and just how unsuccessful it was, despite the fact that their nominee for president is swimming in pools of corruption that they've been looking for. You might recall that former President Donald Trump was first impeached for pressuring Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky to open a sham investigation of Biden in order to discredit him in the 2020 election. Another instance of election interference, right? This is Donald Trump. He can't win without cheating. Comer and the House Republicans delivered what Zelensky refused to. The White Rule Rage, the threat to democracy author emphasized, quote, again and again, they'd find some new piece of information to rush to the cameras to proclaim that they had located the smoking gun, then watch as their claims collapsed when the mundane truth came out. See, MAGA, there's no evidence that Joe Biden is a criminal. This guy, Jim Jordan, and all the others, they were just lying to you to get you to give them their money. Give them your money. And yet, despite the best efforts of the House GOP's worst people, the investigation did not find any corruption. That's not to say Biden is a paragon of ethical purity. He's done a few questionable things, like taking a position at the University of Pennsylvania after his vice presidency that involved a healthy salary and a few responsibilities That kind of sweetheart deal may be a little unseemly, but it's neither illegal nor particularly uncommon for someone in his position. You see, you ask these Trumps, they go, how did President Biden get his money? Never mind that Biden has worked over 40 plus years in government. He may have had the money that way. Never mind that he had a position at the University of Pennsylvania. Never mind that he had a book deal. All right. Never mind that he was getting all kinds of honorarium payments. Because, you know, when you're a vice president or a former vice president, people actually pay you to speak. And so we know Biden made his money the legit way. Never mind that, MAGA. All right. Let's just skip that and get straight down to business. You have no evidence that President Joe Biden is a criminal. The one that's in the White House, you have no evidence, and James Comer doesn't either. It was all a ruse to get you all to send money. So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, because MAGA, once again, they've been played like a bunch of fools, played like a fiddle. Join me in giving them what they deserve. Another round of, you guessed it, booze and shame. Where's the dirt on Joe Biden, MAGA? Does it?
Silence! You MAGA demon!
I'm waiting for a credible Trump supporter, one that can control the MAGA demon, to come into the box when I open up the box in about 20 minutes, or I'm going to open the box in 20 minutes. And for the life of God, for the love of God, can you just zip your mouths, bring the screenshot, and let us all read it and unpack it, all right? I don't want to hear your explanations or anything. Just bring the evidence, MAGA. Is that possible? Any Trump supporters out there? Any Trump supporters out there that have evidence that Joe Biden is a criminal? By a show of hands, please raise your hands. I really want to get this matter settled, all right? Any Trump supporters out there have the screenshot that proves Joe Biden is a criminal? Going once? You're not doing a good job. Wait a minute. Hold up. You're not doing a good job at winning hearts and minds. What? Wait a second. Hold on. Wait a second. Zardy, can I ask you a question? Come on up here. I sent you an invite, Zardy. I just sent you an invite. Bring your brave self up here. All right? Come on, Zardy. Don't be a chicken now. You said something very, very interesting in my comment section, and you didn't think I would stop doing this show in order to address that lie. So I'm assuming, Zardy, you just had one of your little outbursts, right? That MAGA demon got the best of you, Zardy. So guess what we're going to do, Zardy? Good morning, Idaho gal. Guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, because Zardy was feeling a little froggish, and he leapt. But he figured out he didn't leap in the right direction, and he withdrew his statement, right? Typical Trump supporter behavior. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving deranged Zardy, you said Zardy McFarty, a round of booze and shame, because congratulations, Zardy, you played yourself. I've never met an honest Trump supporter. I've never ever met an honest Trump supporter. Every Trump supporter that I've ran into, guess what happens when you start bringing the facts? They start doing that. You know, we call it sign language, right? You know what sign language is, right? It's an acronym, right? Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. That's the way they engage once they come up and, you know, they realize they don't have any facts. All right. And I'm an expert at sign language, MAGA. Nothing you say bothers Zeus, because I've debunked every single conspiracy theory your little minds can imagine. I have. All right. There's nothing you can say to change my mind, because guess what, MAGA? We know that between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, only one of them is actually sitting in a courtroom right now over hush money payments. I mean, that by far is definitely the most ridiculous thing I've heard of. Your wife is what? What is Melania doing while all of this is going on? If you can't run your family, you sure as heck can't run this country, right? Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Marjorie Taylor Greene says motion to vacate speakership is coming regardless of pressure from the party. On Sunday, Marjorie said that her motion to vacate speakership is coming regardless of what House Speaker Mike Johnson decides to do. Mike Johnson's speakership is over. This is what she said. He needs to do the right thing to resign and allow us to move forward in a controlled process. And if he doesn't do so, he will be vacated. This is what Marjorie said to Fox News, all right? And so, ladies and gentlemen, with this being stated, we know how this show once again is going to end. I bring these things up because the Republican Party, they have a very, very clever way of causing all of these problems, even amongst themselves, and then somehow blaming the Democrats. This isn't the Democrats. This is Republican on Republican, or as I like to say, this is MAGA on MAGA. And the reason this is happening is because the Republican Party of today, they don't know how to govern. They're all a bunch of Trump loyalists, and the only thing they're worried about is who can bend over the most for Donald J. Trump. And they don't care about the American people, all right? And so this is just another sign of that. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Join me in giving Marjorie Taylor Greene and Mike Johnson, all right, what they deserve. Because they're putting the American people through this nonsense when all they had to do was simply get rid of Donald Trump a long time ago, and we could all have been moving forward. Join me in giving them another round of boos and shame. I'm not lying.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
I have no reason to get out here and lie to you about any of this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that I am telling you, you can go fact check it. You can go look it up. All right? No reason to get up in here and start crying, you Trump supporters. Like I said, if you don't like the truth, you know what to do. You can leave.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
You hear that, Pam? You hear that, Pam? Do you hear what I'm saying? All right, go get your main account, Pam. Listen, all these folks in here, there's not that many. Listen, I know this. There's not that many people on this app that support Donald Trump that I haven't ran into and at some point had a conversation. So Pam, go put your big girl pants on, your big boy pants on, and come back in here with your main account and have a conversation with Big Zeus, okay? Because you know good and well what you're saying is a lie. Everyone that I've ran into that's MAGA, they are a bunch of liars, all right? And they're childish. They're evil. Corrupt to the highest degree. Right, Morningstar? Right? They're so corrupt. All right, now let's move it along, all right? Melania's Trump's secret plan for if Donald Trump ends up in prison, all right? This is what they're saying. She doesn't really care. She's just going to move ahead. Donald Trump's legal woes are coming to a head as he is currently going through a trial for the first of 4 criminal cases that he's been charged. All right. But his wife, Melania, appears to be doing her best to stay out of the scandalous ex-president's controversy. All right. When Donald Trump was indicted in the hush money case, Melania was reportedly left unsympathetic to his plight as she remained angry over the alleged affair. We should write affairs, right? A source told the People the former first lady also wasn't bothered about the possibility that Trump could be put into prison. You know it's something when your wife don't even care if you're going to go to prison. That's crazy. Isn't that crazy? She reportedly has plans to continue enjoying life in one of the places that she loves the most. Melania loves beautiful weather and resort town atmosphere of Palm Beach. She is happy when she is in Palm Beach. She has her son and other close family members. They are a tribe, and usually stick together. Despite what happens to Donald, she will be fine. She is well taken care of, sources say. You know what? This has to be the funniest thing I've ever read. Your wife watching you go to court because of your dirty deeds and crimes. And at the same time, it seems like she's putting up her profile, online dating. These are things, I love the beautiful weather. I love being in the beach, and I'm a family oriented. Putting up her dating profile. Ladies and gentlemen, this is MAGA at its finest. Literally the antithesis of hypocrisy. These folks don't understand what this circus looks like. She's putting up her dating profile while her husband is fighting for her freedom. You can't make this stuff up. And if all of you go to church, your pastor should be fired for not pointing out the obvious. That Donald J. Trump is no man of God. He is definitely a man of the devil. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Donald Trump once again another round of boos and shame. She's already moved on, Morningstar. I agree.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
To you Trump supporters, I don't want to hear about those poll results that were on CNN and they said Donald Trump was looking good. And you know what? Donald Trump even posted it on True Social. Don't ever bring that up to me, because the moment you bring that up to me, you're going to be charged with, guess what? Lying. Retribution, especially you, because you don't get to say, I don't watch CNN, Zeus, for the whole entire year. Actually, since I've known you, I don't watch CNN. Then they put a poll number up, and you know what we call that? We call that debate, right? Put something up to make sure they don't watch CNN. And we put it up there on CNN, and guess what you knuckleheads did? Y'all fell for it. Now we know you watch CNN. Got your retribution. You see how we did that? And this is why I keep telling you, Trump supporters, your MAGA minds, they're not that brilliant. We're doing research on you. You think this is all you doing smoke and mirrors on us and tricking us? Absolutely not. Oh, no. We know very well what you animals are capable of doing now. Oh, you'll do anything for your cult leader. So retribution, don't get up in my live. You are conservative Democrat, and I don't want to hear, the moment I hear a Trump supporter tell me they don't watch CNN, I'm just going to drop you from the box. That's actually, that's worse than you denying Donald Trump's crimes at this point, retribution. You don't watch CNN, but you're putting videos on TikTok with CNN in it? What do you think I am, stupid? You Trump supporters, I tell you, y'all reveal yourselves in the strangest of ways, right? Speaking of strange ways, you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we have to discuss your favorite topic, January 6th, all right? And then I got to open up these boxes, all right? So many of us know this is the one topic Donald Trump supporters refuse. They don't ever want us to bring this up. But we're going to continue to remind the American people of it, because we know a majority of Americans are so busy out here, they can't keep up with all of this news, especially around Donald Trump's crimes and stuff like that, right? And so what I will do is, once again, explain January 6th based on the facts. Not on Donald Trump and MAGA's conspiracies. We're going to talk about it based on the facts, and then I'll open up those boxes, all right? The reason Donald Trump... the reason Jack Smith was needed, ladies and gentlemen, is because of what happened on January 6th and the classified documents. But we're going to talk about the election subversion case, is what it's commonly referred to as. There was no widespread evidence of outcome determinative fraud, all right? That would have changed the results of the 2020 election. President Biden was the victor, all right? But Donald Trump refused to believe that or accept that, and chose to engage in this criminal conduct. All right, this what they call high crimes and misdemeanors act. What did it consist of? Well, it consisted of, number one, a big lie. You ever heard that big lie? The big lie went a little something like this, ladies and gentlemen. It went a little something like this.
It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose.
It's a rigged election. That's the only way we're going to lose. You know, I used to play basketball with my brothers growing up, play sports with them. And one thing we didn't do was we could never say we won a game that we didn't win because we were so angry. That's just not how it worked. You either won or you lost. If you lost, you practiced until you got better. Donald Trump doesn't play by those rules. He went in a different direction. So he convinced his supporters, the ones out there that claim they have PhDs, like Retribution. He convinced someone with a PhD like Retribution that the 2020 election was rigged. All right. And guess what happened? Well, you all saw it. Donald Trump did that because what was happening in the country at that time, 4 years ago? Oh, we were in a pandemic. Yeah, a pandemic he mismanaged. The economy was on its knees. Small mom and pop businesses were shutting down every day. Millions of Americans' lives were at risk of being lost due to this nasty pandemic. Donald Trump knew he couldn't win. So what did he do? He resorted to Trump tactics, the same tactics he did in 2016 with Hillary Clinton. I got to figure out how to cheat. And he tried it, but it didn't work. Election night came and the results came back. Guess who's the winner? Joe Biden. Donald Trump was supposed to go out and concede to the American people, concede to Joe Biden, and to let the American people Joe Biden was actually the winner. But what did Donald Trump do? We all remember it.
We had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight, and then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh, because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win. So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court. So Florida was a tremendous victory.
Wait a second. Zachary, you want to come up here and explain why you're putting FJB in the middle of my segment on January 6th? Zachary, bring your special behind up here, all right? Because this is very serious to Zeus. I don't need you in my chat spamming it with this ridiculous nonsense. Control the MAGA demon, Zachary. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Zachary doesn't want to get up here and defend his cult leader, and he's smart to just sit his special behind down and listen to this special broadcast. You just might learn something, Zachary. So instead of conceding, Donald Trump watered that seed of doubt by not conceding to Joe Biden. But he went one step further, Zachary. Look at what he did to folks like you, Zachary.
76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
Paisley, you said there's nothing to learn here, Paisley? Paisley, are you serious? Did you just see what Donald Trump did to you? In that moment, with those words, you believed that the election was stolen and that he won. He just said some words to you, Paisley. You were played like a fiddle, Paisley. And it didn't stop there. So now that he got folks like Paisley all worked up, right? Now it's time to move on with the next phase of the scheme, Paisley. You know what the next phase of the scheme was, Paisley? Maybe you know, maybe you remember this, Paisley, all right? This one's for you.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
That's Donald Trump calling another Republican, all right, breaking the law, pressuring him to find votes. Paisley, again, there's no Democrats in this, Paisley. This is Donald Trump himself breaking the law. So now we got his supporters who are now his soldiers, modern day Confederate soldiers. And we got the fake elector scheme. Paisley, retribution, Zachary. And what does Donald Trump decide to do next? Why not go for gold, right? I'll tell you what he does next. Attention, Paisley, retribution, Zachary, and all of my soldiers. He thinks of himself as the modern day Jefferson Davis. I lost to Joe Biden, and I'm very, very angry. So what I need you all to do is to sell everything that you have, all right? And send the proceeds to guess who? Me, all right? And meet me in, guess where? Washington, D.C. at an event that I am hosting called Stop the Steal. Be there, will be wild. You remember this, Paisley? I'm taking you down memory lane for a real reason. You too, Retribution and Zachary. He invited you to Washington, D.C. after he picked your pockets. I'm not making this up. So what happened after this? Well, we all saw it. His soldiers, they began to get in the back of these U-Haul trucks. Grown men packed in the back of these U-Hauls like sardines. All right, to begin their trip towards Washington, D.C. to meet with their president, you know who was in the back of these U-Hauls, right? You know who I'm talking about, the Patriot Front, the Proud Boys, the Boogaloo Boys. And you notice that they could wear masks all of a sudden, during the pandemic. These same nasty monsters would go into grocery stores. They wouldn't put a mask on. They'd have all that snot hanging down. Put a mask on. No, I'm not wearing a mask because you can't make me do that. If I put on a mask, I won't be able to breathe. But you had no problem putting that mask on and getting in those U-Hauls for Donald Trump. Caught you in another lie, Retribution. See how I did that? You CNN watching traitors. All right. So when they get to Washington, D.C., they run into one of their own, a lieutenant of Donald Trump's. You know who she is. You know who Marjorie Trader Green is, right? You know who Marjorie is, right, MAGA? You know, the one that we all suspect may have planted those pipe bombs. Here she is. And guess what Marjorie told all of you to do?
Everything. If we flood the Capitol building, flood all the government buildings, go inside. These are public buildings. We own them. We own these buildings. Do you understand that? We own the buildings and we pay all the people that work in the building.
Finished with our meetings here at the White House this afternoon. We had a great planning session for our January 6th objection. We aren't going to let this election be stolen by Joe Biden and the Democrats. President Trump won by a landslide. Call your House reps, call your senators from your states. We've got to make sure they're on board, and we already have a lot of people engaged. Okay, stay tuned.
That's Marjorie Trader Green telling all of you Trump supporters to go inside of the Capitol. Again, this isn't the Democrats. Thank you, Little Hawk. And so what happened after this, ladies and gentlemen? This is where the temperature starts to go up. And this is what MAGA doesn't like you to know. In the White House, there was an exchange that took place between this man, criminal, and his own vice president, Mike Pence. Donald Trump tries to pressure Pence to not certify the votes. Certify the votes for Joe Biden and, to allow the fake elector scheme to run its course. And I don't know how it happened, but Mike Pence somehow was able to muster up enough courage he never showed during the entire Trump administration. And he said to Donald Trump, Mr. President, unfortunately, I won't be able to do that. Why not, Pence? Because if I were to do that, that would require me to place you above the Constitution. A document that our founding fathers fought for. A document that many Americans lost their lives for. And I just can't do that for you, Mr. President. Guess what Donald Trump did? Black Lives Matter and Antifa put on some Oh, okay, Brian, bring your special behind up here and bring that information. As soon as I get done with this, Brian and Tammy, I don't know which of you it is. Is it Tammy or is it Brian? Bring that information in the box as soon as I'm done with this. I would love to add that to this story. I would do it if you got that information. Outside of that, sit your special behinds down and listen to this special broadcast. You're liars. So guess what Donald Trump told Pence? He said, you know what, Pence? You know what your problem is? You're a little too honest, Pence. And he called him the nasty P word. You know, the same P word that we heard in the Access Hollywood tape. And he stormed out of the office. He goes to Secret Service. Secret Service, take me to meet up with my soldiers at the Ellipse. Sir, they are armed to the T. They got tactical gear. They got weapons, knives, stun gun. I don't care. This is what Donald Trump says. I don't care what they have. They're not bringing that to harm me. Take me to be with my soldiers. Secret Service? Yes, sir, President. We'll take you to go meet with your soldiers at the Ellipse. What happens next? Well, that's a good question. Well, we all saw it. Donald Trump gets to the Ellipse. And when he gets to the Ellipse, guess what? He gives a speech. All right, you can see it. Look at this. He looked out and he saw a sea of red hats. He saw a sea of Trump supporters. I mean, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all those Trump supporters. Look at all those traitors. How could you not? How could you not encourage them to go attack the United States Capitol? Look at that. That's what Donald Trump saw when he got to the Ellipse. He gets on stage. We all saw it. And guess what he does after he gets on stage, ladies and gentlemen? You guessed it. He decides, you know what? It is time to encourage my troops to engage in heinous acts of violence.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
So there he was, encouraging his supporters. Look at him. This isn't BLM. This isn't Antifa. This isn't the FBI. These are certified Trump supporters full of the MAGA demon, ready to go commit crimes on behalf of Donald Trump. And so that's what they proceeded to do. You all remember this. Guess what? You know what happened? On their way there, we heard them chanting it. They wanted to unalive our vice president at the time. You are all a bunch of traitors. Every time I retell this story, I get more and more bothered with MAGA. This is the story they don't want you to know, America, but I'm going to tell it. There was a situation that transpired at the Capitol as well that day, ladies and gentlemen, where they ran across one of their own, Ray Epps. You remember Ray Epps? They saw Ray Epps and they said, feds, feds, feds. And I said, well, if you really believe that Ray Epps were feds, MAGA, why'd you break the law in front of the FBI and the cops? And I've not gotten an answer for that yet, other than Zeus. We can't tell you why, because we blacked out that day because the MAGA demon was in control of my body that day, and I totally blacked out. That's the only answer I've gotten from MAGA. And there was also another event that transpired on that dark and dangerous day in American history. Do you all know who Ashley Babbitt is? Do you all remember Ashley? Ashley Babbitt, one of Donald J. Trump's foot soldiers, that day lost her life. But guess what? We got some information on what Ashley Babbitt was saying leading up to that day. All right, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ashley Babbitt.
District, why don't you worry about your own goddamn district and the shit that's going on there? You are a complete, I'm telling you right now, I put all you on notice. Every single one of you politicians in California, Gavin Newsom, Jerry Brown, Maxine Waters, Duncan Hunter, what the hell is Kamala? Where is Kamala? Talking about ISIS like KKK. We got this migrant caravan. You know what? We have thousands of people on the other side of the border. If people can't get to work, our economy is going to take an absolute tank because you guys refuse to choose America over your stupid political party. Capitol and a mob, there's an estimated over 3 million people here today. So despite what the media tells you, boots on the ground definitely say something different. There is a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue patriots and Trump.
She said it was a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue patriots for Trump. Brian and Tammy, bring the evidence to support that Ashley was lying that day. It don't look like she's surrounded with the FBI that day. Remember what happened to Ashley, America? Do you all remember what happened to Ashley Babbitt? You all remember this scene that transpired in the Capitol right before Ashley lost her life, right? Wow. That was the moment right before Ashley Babbitt lost her life. One of Donald Trump's foot soldiers lost their life in the battlefield because of Donald Trump's big lie, big nasty lie, a lie his own vice president wouldn't go along with. He lost one of his soldiers that day. And you know what Donald Trump did when he lost one of his soldiers? Listen up, MAGA.
Some information that stands out to me is that Donald Trump was passed a note after one of the rioters was shot in the Capitol and was made clear that this person had been shot, this woman had been shot in the chest. And the valet says that he offered no reaction upon learning that. He kept sitting in the chair watching the violence unfurl on TV.
A non-reaction at the death of Ashley Babbitt.
A non-reaction. He didn't care that one of his soldiers lost their life in battle because of his big lie. This is January 6th that many of us in America recall. This was not a peaceful protest. This was not a patriotic act. This was an act of defiance. This was an illegal and elaborate scheme that manifested in an effort to allow Donald Trump to illegally remain in power, which consisted of a fake elector scheme and his soldiers attacking the United States Capitol as if somehow we were back during the revolutionary times and they were on the side of Britain. They thought this was another opportunity to side with the British. Y'all are a bunch of traitors. But you know what's interesting, ladies and gentlemen? We have another update to go through. It turns out the gentleman who filmed Miss Ashley Babbitt's demise has now been brought to justice. My oh my, how everything has came full circle. So let's get into another update on January 6th, if you don't mind. All right, and then I'll open up those boxes. F the system. Time to burn it down. A man bent on violent government dismantling gets prison time for storming the United States Capitol on January 6th. A Utah man, authorities said, advocated for a violent government dismantling was sentenced to 6 years in federal prison after he stormed the United States Capitol building on January 6th with a knife and a megaphone. John Earl Sullivan, 29, was sentenced to 72 months in prison, 36 months of supervised release in order to pay $2,000 in restitution. The United States Attorney General's office announced in a news release he was convicted in November of charges of obstruction, trespassing with a dangerous weapon, disorderly conduct, and unlawful possession of a dangerous weapon. You want to see what this MAGA demon looks like, ladies and gentlemen? Does that look like a MAGA demon to you? Sure does to me. I see crazy all over this guy. I see evil all over his face. Sick. Court documents outline the case, highlighting Sullivan's movements online leading up to January 6th, when he joined in the Capitol riots wearing a ballistic vest, gas mask, and a bullhorn. Authorities say Sullivan, a self-described activist, had one objective: to cause chaos and disrupt the status quo. Quote, "We will have live updates on the location for tonight's purge," Sullivan wrote on his Instagram in the winter of 2020. "Spread the message. Let the electoral purge commence." That's what he wrote on December 30th. Quote, "Definitely don't surround his house," with a photo of Senator Mitch McConnell. In a tweet on January 2nd, Sullivan wrote, "F the system. Time to burn it down," with an accompanying still from a TikTok video of him burning an American flag. At the Capitol that day, he said at one point through the bullhorn as he pushed through the police barriers, "Get in that. Let's go. Move, move, move. Storm that!" Expletive. At another point, he bragged as the mob approached the Capitol building, "There's so many people. Let's go. This is ours. F yeah. We accomplished this. We did this together. Yeah. We're all part of this effing history. Let's burn this down." When he got to the Upper West Terrace, he triumphantly put his hand above his head, whooped and remarked, "Awesome! Savage!" after helping a rioter scale the wall, court documents said. Ladies and gentlemen, please go read the rest of this criminal's conduct that day. It's so much to go through and we don't have much time. But I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do? Join me in sending this deranged MAGA demon straight to the pits of hell where he belongs. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving him what he deserves. Another round of boos and shame. He's a MAGA demon.
You MAGA demon.
All right, and guess what? Because he's been not only arrested, but convicted and sentenced, let's send him off the old-fashioned way.
I'd like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
You hear that? You hear that, MAGA? Do you hear what he just said? Thank you, Shayna. He said, you do not represent this country and you will pay. You know why I keep having to revisit this? Because it's crystal clear to Zeus, ladies and gentlemen, all right? It's crystal clear that you all don't understand how you look to the rest of the world. You're all getting played like a fiddle. This guy lured you all to the United States Capitol, got you all into a bunch of trouble. You all threw your life, your liberty, and your freedom away for him. And now that you're in a jam, he gets on national television and tells you he ordered the National Guard and that you don't represent this country, while he continues to fly around in his private jet, campaigning and golfing, all right, until as much as his heart can handle. And y'all are sitting up here still worshiping this guy, blaming Joe Biden and the Democrats. Wow. Just wow, MAGA. You know why I keep bringing this up? Because somebody needs to help you understand that you're all listening to a clown. You understand this? Donald Trump is a clown. You know how you know? Because he does exactly what a clown does. What does a clown do? A clown wakes up every morning, puts on makeup. He puts on that orange makeup on his face. I sure do look good, right? Clown puts on a wig. He puts on that little bird's nest right above his head. Yeah. Following the same program clowns follow, right? You know, the clown puts on their little uniform. He does the same thing, puts on that dirty diaper and that crumpled blue suit with that silly red tie. And he gets onto his social media platform and gives you all your daily orders. And like a bunch of plumb dumb fools, y'all actually do what he says do. I still got Trump supporters out here trying to convince me that Donald Trump is a successful businessman. He's so successful, huh? Well, why did his CFO go to prison? He's so successful. Why is he shelling out millions of dollars to E. Jean Carroll? He's so successful. Why did he get impeached twice? Why did Letitia James clean his clock? He's so successful, MAGA. When are you going to wake up and realize the only ones that believe him are you? He doesn't even believe what he says, and neither does his wife. Just you. Y'all are the most embarrassing. I tell you, Donald Trump really should. He should be in the Guinness Book, all right, because he's running the biggest circus known to mankind I've ever seen. This is the biggest circus. He has people all over the world under this spell. You're all in a circus. You're all a part of the opening act. How can I get retribution's money? How can I get retribution to go to jail? These Trump supporters, do you all understand what the ultimate MAGA reward is? Jail. And if you don't get your soul right, hell. With a Chapter 11 pit stop in between. And it's guaranteed for every single one of you if you don't get out of this cult that you're in right now. On a serious note. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's open up those boxes and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and to tell the truth and shame the devil. Listen. If you are one of those deranged individuals that claim you got evidence on Joe Biden's crimes, please get in the box and bring the proof. All right, we would love to see the evidence that you have that proves Joe Biden is a criminal. That way I can update my platform and we can move on as a country, because that's what this is about, getting the truth out there. But if you get in here and all you want to do is cry and all that other stuff, you just keep that to yourself, all right? We don't need to hear that on a Monday morning, all right? You go do all of that for Donald Trump. You go do that in the Snuggles Live, all right? Don't you dare bring that nonsense over here to Zeus. All right, let's bring up our first panelist.
Good morning. How are you, Zeus?
I'm doing all right. I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom.
So I was looking up the definition of sycophant this morning because I feel like MAGA needs to hear it. It's a person who obsequiously. I know you probably, that's a big word for Elmo, but it's basically someone who is like a toady, someone who will listen and do what they are told so well and do it with such fervor. They love doing it. And also, did you hear about Laura Trump?
What about her? There's so much to keep up with her.
Oh my goodness. So she said that she can have people handle ballots and have poll watchers.
Oh,
did you hear this?
I didn't hear this. And how is that supposed to work?
So apparently some judge passed away and all of a sudden it just changed his ruling and they can have poll watchers. Poll watchers, I was reading about, is not illegal. People can watch certain parts of the election and whatnot, but they cannot interfere. They cannot infringe on privacy, things like that. But they can like take notes and like report things, whatever. But she said that they can have ballot handlers.
Oh.
That is a crime. Do not let anyone touch your ballot. Do not let anyone try to tell you how to vote whenever you are at the polling place. You go in there and you do your thing the way you feel you should as an American.
So wait a second. Ballot handlers, and from the way this sounds, these are people that would be where you go to vote at, that after you fill it out, you would give it to them.
Yes. Yep.
And then they would turn it in for you after they check it and make sure it's actually up to par and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Correct?
Make sure that you voted for Trump.
Oh, retribution. We caught you I caught you again, bro. It's not going to work.
Oh, retribution. Look, see, I put this up because Eric Trump and Laura Trump are made for each other and they shared this packet of crayons. I found it. I found the package. They split it. But retribution, I think you might snack on these too. Anywho, where's his picture at? I got you, retribution.
Oh, you got a mugshot of retribution.
I'm gonna use the same one as usual because it just seems accurate. He goes after women all the time, and
wow, retribution.
Even your brother confirmed that this was you. He goes, he said to Callie, he goes, "Why are you using my brother's picture?"
Oh.
So retribution, you can deny it all you want, but your brother confirmed it.
Oh my God. This is the guy with 4 PhDs?
The 4 PhDs, the NASA employee.
Retribution.
Oh my goodness.
At this point, I think it's safe to say Retribution is lying about his qualifications.
Oh, lying about everything.
He's inflating his assets.
Is just like Trump.
Yeah.
He's just like Laura. He's just like Eric. And matter of fact, I got to add another thing as to why she is a crayon eater. She said we have 81 states.
Wow.
81 states.
Wow.
And you guys were so upset, MAGA. You guys were so upset. What did Joe Biden say? He said we had 51 states randomly. He just kind of like a verbal gaffe.
Yeah. It happens to the best of us, right? I mean,
How do you add 31 states?
Explain yourselves, MAGA.
Explain yourself, MAGA.
Right? They have
goodness.
they have no credibility, Jess. You know how these folks are. They're projecting all of their insecurities on innocent people in America because they themselves are too afraid to actually confront the realities that they're facing.
Exactly. So I really I want to know, is Joe Biden a criminal mastermind who can weaponize the DOJ and all these other people, or is he sleepy?
Oh, which one is it, MAGA? Which one is it? They've never been able to
doing just fine.
They've never been able to answer that question, Jess. They've never been able to answer it.
Oh, and I swear the correspondence dinner with Lauren Boebert, that little roast was beautiful. Political theater. She'd have been kicked out by now.
Bingo.
I heard my bell.
Tell them, Jess. Well, listen, keep up the great work that you're doing. And as always, come on back. Don't be afraid to bring the truth. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give the beautiful Jess a round of applause. Yeah. So look at where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. I asked our friends out there during the show, the monologue. I said, listen, come on up here and bring the evidence to support the claims. And as you can see, every single Trump supporter that's tuned in today, once again, has failed to do it. And let that be a lesson to the American people out there listening to this show. Donald Trump and his supporters, they have nothing of substance. They have no policies, nothing of value to offer this country. All this election is about is Donald Trump trying to get revenge and to escape accountability for his various crimes that he's been charged with, right? And we're not going to let him escape, all right? So it's very important that we continue to keep the pressure on him and his supporters. All right? Look at that. We have a brave soldier up here. A brave MAGA soldier. Bad views. You decided to come onto the show and speak to Big Zeus. What's going on?
Hey, sorry, I was kind of frozen for a sec. Did you say anything important?
I always say it. Everything I say is important, Bad Views. So what's going on? Have you decided to get out of the cult?
Well, that's what I was coming up here to talk to you about.
I can help you get out of there. But you gotta agree on some things. Are you ready?
Okay, but before we go on, will you just promise that on my way out of here, will you ask the crowd to give me a round of applause?
If you make it.
All right.
All right. Are you ready to admit that Joe Biden won the 2020 election fair and square today?
I mean, he won the election, yes.
There was no widespread evidence of voter fraud, correct?
Correct.
All right. That's a good step in the right direction. I know that was big. Are you ready today to confess that Donald Trump was 100% responsible for January 6th?
Absolutely not. That's a ridiculous claim.
Oh!
Come on. What? Come on.
It just blows my mind that you're stuck in the same spot you were in when I first met you, Bad Views. Okay, so now that I know you don't really care about this country, what exactly did you want to come up here and say to me? Seriously. Do you have any evidence of Joe Biden being a criminal on you? Can we get that out of your pocket today?
No, I've got evidence that he's not capable of doing a good job as president, though.
What evidence do you have?
Well, I mean, everything's gotten worse. I can't think of one thing that's gotten better since he's taken over. Not one.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that what you can't think of isn't true, right? Because a lot of Americans know that a lot of things have actually gotten better as a result of Biden being in the White House. I'll give you one thing. Didn't Biden help get this country reopened after Donald Trump shut it down?
That's so funny. Donald Trump did a 2-week shutdown, and then everything after that, it was all the states. And so if you're complaining about shutdowns, and I imagine you're in California, right? Yeah. Yes. So talk to your governor about that.
So you're saying Donald Trump could shut it down and not be accountable for anything that happens as a result of him shutting it down.
It was a terrible move to shut it down. It was also a terrible move for him to give out a bunch of free money.
Well, Donald Trump did that.
Yeah,
No. I'm so happy you said
Joe
that.
Biden also did it.
No. Okay, I'm not talking about Joe Biden. So you're admitting Donald Trump did something. You're admitting Donald Trump did something bad.
Yes.
Let me ask you this question, Bad Views. Don't you think it's a bad sign when a person's vice president won't even vote for him? That's pretty terrible, right? That's terrible.
The vice president is a super religious establishment hack. I see it as an endorsement.
You see a negative as a positive. You see how your mind works? In any other field, in any other discipline, that kind of logic doesn't work. You do understand that. Like if you're talking like programming a computer, you're talking about, math, 1 + 1 = 2. That kind of logic does not work.
Wait, hang on, Zeus. Do you think a Hillary Clinton endorsement is a good thing?
It depends.
Does it depend? What does it depend on?
On who she's endorsing and what she's endorsing. I can't say everything she says she touches is gold, but let's not get on Hillary Clinton bad views, all right?
Yeah.
Now, I want you to really unpack this. Mike Pence won't support or endorse Donald Trump.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
We don't want him.
Do you understand that?
Yeah, he's a Democrat. Yeah, I get it.
Okay. Well, listen, bad views. I'm convinced that you still you need a lot of work, bro. So I'm gonna have to move it on. All right. I don't think there's a way you can be rehabilitated. All right. I really don't. I'm losing all hope in you, bro.
All right, can I get a round of applause at least on my way out? It might help.
Yeah. I got you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give bad views what he deserves. All right, because he clearly is still possessed with the MAGA demon. Bad views. This is a round of applause for you. Because I know how your mind works, bad views. You see negatives as positives, so this is a round of applause, bad views. Oh my God, bad views. You're still walking around here believing nonsense. All right, cut it out. Seriously, you said Mike Pence was a Democrat. Unbelievable. All right, let's bring up our next panelist, ladies and gentlemen, the beautiful Ange. Good morning, Ange. How are you doing?
Good morning. How is everybody?
Oh, we're doing all right. Just another day in the kingdom.
I hope you all had a good weekend and you got outside. I'm up here in New England. It's getting warm. Make sure you take little breaks from TikTok, just here and there. Then come back on and educate people like bad views. But I'm up here to address retribution.
Oh.
Honestly, bad views looks like an angel next to retribution. Okay? That's how bad retribution is. He had the nerve to come into my live over the weekend after I called out a man who was following little girls.
What?
Following little girls. And the next thing you know, retribution puts in a request to come up. And I thought he was going to come up and touch on politics with me. And he came up and he called me despicable. And you are a despicable person. I said, why am I despicable? He said, what you just did to that man is despicable.
Wow.
Yeah, retribution. I looked at his profile too, because I won't call it out unless I see it myself. So I have a big, big problem with you that I am not playing around with. I take this very, very serious. As a mother of a teenage girl, I will call any man out that has a following list that he's following. These people are always like, no, they're following me. No, moron. It says you are following them. And I'm going to call you out. And not just because I'm a mother of a teenage girl. I would think any person in here, whether they have a teenage daughter or not, would find you to be the despicable one.
Wow.
This is your narrative, Ange. This is the Democrat narrative. No. I know what I'm looking at. And it's disgusting. I ain't playing with you, retribution. You have a lot of nerve.
Cut it out.
Show your effing face around here. You do.
No wonder he doesn't show his face, huh?
Yeah. You should not be showing your face. And I will bring proof because I have the video.
Oh.
I have the replay. I am not just saying this. I have it all, and it's in my draft and ready to go. Oh, I am not a nobody. Trust me, I am not a nobody. I had 800 people in a live this morning, sir.
Ooh.
I am not a nobody.
Tell them,
and there are almost 600 people in here right now listening to you still try to defend yourself. You are gross.
Wow. This is typical MAGA behavior, right? I mean, this is what they've learned from Donald Trump.
Yes.
Right?
Because look what Donald Trump does.
Yeah, he goes to the beauty pageants, and what did he say? He gets to go back there and inspect the product, right?
Yes. And he also said about a 10-year-old little girl, oh, I'm going to date her in 10 years or something ridiculous. Do we all remember that too?
Yep.
That's what y'all think you can do, you conservative men. This is what you all do. And even if you are with a woman of age. You want to control her, you want to cheat on her, and you all want to defend it. And you're gross, and I have no tolerance for you. And now I'm done. But I'm not playing with that. I catch you following little girls in my live, I'm going to call you out. In retribution, you defended it. You are gross. With that, I am done.
He is disgusting, vile, and gross, Ange. And thank you for exposing another MAGA demon. You see, America, this is MAGA. Sometimes during my show, I actually highlight things like this. I do MAGA or not. To show the American people how disgusting and evil these people are. The same ones that sit around and talk about how they go to church and protect the kids. You gotta watch these people. Every single time, we always end up going down this path with MAGA. Wow. You can't defend the indefensible, retribution. Do you understand what this is about? Where do you draw the line, MAGA? Seriously. Wow. You can't make this stuff up, folks. You really can't. Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Good morning, Attacking. How are you doing, brother? I see you, Lex. Good morning, Attacking.
I am doing perfect. I really am. Hold on.
Z-Pot. Oh, there we go.
Show me a document that shows that President Biden committed a crime. You and I have asked for documents. We should ask for proof, and they never provide us proof. They say they've seen it.
Yeah. Have you seen any?
Oh, no. And I do searching. I was in a broadcast with one of the Russian bears, Stacy. She's saying, of course, Joe Biden's a P3DO, ignoring the fact of what Donald Trump has done.
Greetings, Bamba. Right.
I put up a video of her saying that she's going to do a search on Joe Biden receiving money from China. So I did a search on Joe Biden receiving money from China.
Right.
Yeah, there wasn't any. Did a search on Trump? Yeah, there was some. There's also a 2-year report done by the Democrats in regards to Trump receiving money while president.
Yep.
But they don't care about the information.
Isn't that something? Something?
It really is something. We ask and ask and ask and ask. Please show us documents. Teach us. You say that we're puppets. You say that we're sheep. Then show us what you see. Why can't you come up into my broadcast or Angela's broadcast or Zeus's broadcast or anybody else's broadcast and bring documents in regards to what you say that you say you've seen?
Yeah.
It's real simple. I've offered money. Nutty has said, hey, I'll pay for you to go to Russia, seeing as how you don't like it here in America. Nobody takes
right.
about that.
Right.
But, you guys whine and bitch as...
Oops, sorry. I caught that. Oh, wait a second. I caught that attacking. Oh, my goodness.
Go on. You guys whine and cry that we call you out. Well, you also make videos of myself and Zeus. Why do you whine that we make videos of you making horrible, inaccurate lies in regards to what you say about Joe Biden?
Yeah.
If you don't want to be called out to be a liar and a hypocrite and a fake Christian, then stop it. I made a video today. I made a video that all this name calling that both sides do.
Right.
And I'm one of the kings of name calling, and I admit it.
Well, glad you're taking accountability, attacking.
And I call you guys out, but the thing is this: do you know who started this name calling? Donald J. Trump.
Donald Trump. Yep.
Donald Trump calls everybody names that he doesn't like, or he wants to degrade them, so on and so forth, because he knows he's a horrible person. You guys run with it. You guys clap, you cheer, you call people names.
Yeah.
So the thing is this: I put out there, why don't we stop this name calling? Stop the lies about a person. Stop the lies about a person you don't like, and use facts and documents and evidence and proof. And let's have a conversation only using those things that you can prove. Don't use a title of a post. Joe Biden's a P3DO. Show the proof. Don't show a picture that you say he's sniffing a child. I want to see a court transcript. I want to see a filing from family. I want to see him in court. I want to see the same things that we have proof of with Donald Trump. We have women coming out. We have court filings. We have attorneys representing these women until there's death threats against them. They drop. Show the evidence that you ignore. You literally have Donald Trump on tape, on audio, on video, saying these things, just like Angela said. When he's going up an escalator, there's an 8-year-old girl. He go, "Are you going up the escalator?" Yeah,
exactly.
I'm gonna be dating her in 10 years. He said that about an 8-year-old girl.
Wow.
And you guys ignore it. I put up Ivanka's an article where one of the teen models went to Ivanka and said, "Hey, your dad walked in our dressing rooms as we were naked." And Ivanka's reply was, "Yeah, he does that. Yeah, he does that."
Sick stuff.
So if you want to stop name calling, if you want me to stop name calling or calling you out with these names that you clap and cheer that Donald Trump does, then let's do this.
Bingo.
You stop lying about Joe Biden. You take accountability for what Trump has done, and let's do it like this. Innocent until proven guilty. We all agreed with that, but at least read the documents and agree. Yes, this looks bad, and say you agree to it, but let the justice system play out. Good, bad, or indifferent. If he gets convicted, you own up to it. If he doesn't get convicted, we say, well, that's the way the cookies crumble. Let's move on.
Bingo, bingo. All
right,
bingo.
I'm going to drop. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to Brother Attacking. No lies detected. You see, MAGA, this is a show of force. All we're doing is sharing the truth, and you can't handle it. This is breaking down every single narrative that you tried to spread on this platform. You've all been exposed for being a bunch of liars, a bunch of hypocrites, and in some cases, downright disgusting. How do you sit there in a party like this and continue to try to push this on the American people? This is worse than any other. I got to keep it clean. This is TikTok. But you know what? This is worse than what they pushing out here on these streets. You Trump supporters out here pushing that MAGA demon. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Rather be informed. If you'd rather be informed, you'd quit typing in my chat and you would sit your special behind down and listen to this special broadcast. All right? You don't know anything. And I'm being very nice about it, but you really don't. I don't care where you got your degree from. You need a refund. Good morning, Brother Lex. How are you doing? Hey.
Had a rough weekend, man.
Oh, you did? Oh, you did everything okay?
No.
Talk to him.
I talked on Straight Facts Friday. I was highly emotional on Straight Facts Friday because due to domestic violence, one of my oldest childhood friends' life was taken.
Oh my goodness! And I'm sorry to hear that.
And you know, I'm trying to. Yeah, it was the baby sister of the former running back of the Detroit Lions, James Stewart. She was a sweet girl, and you know, I've had to work through a lot of things this weekend because I was angry, and I was helpless, you know, and all this wild stuff that goes on in your head that you don't know about when things like that happen.
Right.
And I feel like that if you're in a situation where you feel like somebody is going to do harm to you and you're in a relationship, get out, get as far away from it as you can. You may feel like you love somebody, but at the end of the day, if these people don't have your best interests at hand, you need to put some distance in between you and them.
Exactly.
And this is, I mean, I've been doing in this civil rights battle with the Tennessee state legislature and all these other things I have going on with music and all that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have to stop and throw a full brake stop on and take a look around and have to be concerned about somebody that is a fool that comes in and plucks one of yours out because they're selfish and they can't win and cowardly. He went on the run. They caught him in Kentucky. It was a whole big crazy weekend because I was out looking for him myself for a minute. And
really,
and
man, you can't be trying to take the law in your own hands now.
Yeah, I know. So what I did was I took my keys and gave them to my neighbor and said, "Don't give these to me until I feel like I'm in a better place." And he did that. But
I'm definitely, it's sad to me to hear this story, and I'm glad you're okay. My main concern is that you continue to do things to take care of yourself because I would imagine you're going to be called upon to help others in this situation, and you got to make sure you're in a good spot.
It was a very tough conversation with her father, and that's what. See, I talked to her father right after it happened, and I think that you could be at a point of rage where you start crying. And that's a bad rage to have. But then you cool off. You can talk to people and when I talk to him again and I get leveled my water, right?
Yeah.
So, now we just have to go through a process that I have to help them with as much as I can. They're surrounded by some really great people, but
good.
For as good as her father was to me, it just really bothered me to see him in the state that he was in, and it lit me up like a candle,
Yeah. That is, to me, these are, it tugs right at the core of, who you are as a person when things like this happen. And so the main thing is
wait. Retribution still in the comments talking trash.
Don't
No. I'm gonna clear some stuff up for retributions and snuggles. I just happen to have some things on me right now. You see what that is?
That is a Mercedes. Is that a Mercedes symbol?
Yeah, that's a Mercedes book of ownership. Okay, so in this book right here, you see my owner's guide that gives me directions of my car. Right? And all the stuff, all the mileage books and things like that, they're all in here, right?
Yeah,
okay,
I see it.
Okay, that's for snuggles. For retribution, I have this right here, and it says doctor right there.
Oh.
You know what that is, don't you?
That's the degree, right? That's your degree.
Yes.
We have not seen either of those from Retribution, and so we're going to have to go ahead and consider Retribution to be a fraudster when it comes to those degrees, right?
Yeah, very true. So, I know my time is up. At the end of the day, if you are in a relationship where someone is putting their hands on you, please seek out help.
Yep.
And I will never understand the how this happened. When you got to think about when you do something like that in any form or fashion to somebody, you don't just harm that person that you harmed, you destroy an entire structure of a family. So, thanks for having me. I'm going to get back to the music.
All right.
Pretty good right now, so.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming up here and bringing the awareness. All right. I'm going to continue to encourage you to continue to, take care of yourself through this time. And our condolences do go out to you, brother. All right. But keep going. All right. And continue to spread the message. All right. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, Zeus. I never understand how you could pew somebody that many times. And that's what's so hard about this whole thing.
Yeah, so, I don't either.
I'll catch you later.
All right, bro. And I still owe you a call. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to Brother Lex. Let's give it up to Brother Lex. No lies detected. All right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, listen. If you got an opportunity to make it out of a bad situation, please do it. All right. And it's not considered a bad thing when you're able to take accountability. All right. All right. Who do we got next? I'm I am Whitey Jesus. You asked a very interesting question of Zeus. Would you like to come up here and ask the question aloud? All right, because it kind of is making me believe you might be someone that I know, but on a backup account. So what I want to do, YT Jesus, he calls himself YT Jesus. All right, come on up here and ask Zeus that question. Thank you, Rick. All right. I'm assuming you are afraid. So guess what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Since YT Jesus is afraid to come up, all right, and get in the box and defend Donald Trump, you know what we're going to do? Is this little white prizzle, is that who that is? Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving YT Jesus what he deserves. Another round of, you guessed it, booze and shame. It's not that hard.
Silence! You never demon!
It's not that hard. All right, bring up our next panelist. Bala is me. Greetings. How are you doing?
What's going on, Mr. Zeus?
What's going on? How are you? This is our first time doing
Doing
business,
fine,
or
man.
or have we done business before?
Nah, we done business before, man. You might have had it on another account
Yeah,
or something
probably
like
on my
that.
main.
But have they decided about that gag order yet?
Nope, not yet. Not yet. I believe it's Thursday. I
You know,
believe,
I
Rick.
got a solution for that one.
What's that?
If the judge finds that Trump violated the gag order, they should put him in jail for at least 2 to 3 hours the day of court, and then resume court after them 2 or 3 hours.
Now, why you
take his
gonna get up
belt,
here and make me laugh and get me all excited like that? Now, why you gonna do that?
take his belt, take his shoestrings, take his tie.
Oh.
Let him sit in there for about 2 or 3 hours and let him get some humility. And then the judge come back out and tell him, look, if you do it again, we're going to leave you in there for 24 hours.
Oh.
And if he do it again, then we're going to go ahead and put the max on him.
Oh.
I mean, because I think that's the only way that you're going to be able to get him to stop doing what he's doing. I'm just being honest with you,
Hey.
man.
You think they ought to give him some of that jail food while he in there too?
Give him some of the bologna with the Kool-Aid and it's spilt on it a little bit. You know, it's kind of soggy.
Oh Lord! I mean, listen, you made my day with that, the imagery of just seeing that happen. Oh, I guarantee you, he would get a lot of act right, wouldn't he? He'd get a lot of act right, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah, I think he would get some act right if he put him in jail for. I mean, it ain't a lot. It ain't a lot.
Oh, that's it right there. That right there, that would seal the deal. Because then once we see that, we wouldn't have a problem with him actually going to prison if he's convicted, right? Because we'd be already
they are
ready
supposed
for
to be trying to figure out
yeah,
how they gonna do this anyway if
yeah,
he
yeah,
do
yeah.
go to jail.
Yeah. Wow, that's
And
actually great.
I'm not saying he's gonna go to jail, but put him in jail for about 2 or 3 hours. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, I
And
would
let him hear Tyrone and them talking about, boy, if we get a hold of you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think that's going to be the only thing that's going to convince him to stop doing what he's doing, though. Because if you give him $1,000 fine for each count, that's nothing to Trump.
Yeah, it is.
But if you take his freedom, it ain't got to be long, 2, 3 hours.
Right.
Because if you ever spend time in behind bars,
tell him.
It ain't no fun.
You're saying that it's not a walk in the park.
No, it's not a walk in the park.
Oh my God. Well, I do hope the judge does give him what you suggested, because I think that would not only teach him something, but it would teach MAGA something, right?
Most definitely. And then Snuggles can give you your steaks like he's
Hey,
supposed
let's go.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate you, man. Most of the time I'm just in the comments, man, but I just had to come up here and tell you that and thought, maybe that's a good suggestion.
Yeah. Judge Juan Mershon, if you are listening, please do whatever you can to let him experience, what jail feels like. It'll be like what we call a presidential version of Scared Straight, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Let's get it to him.
Take care, everybody in the kingdom.
All right.
And Luke, it's going to be all right, brother.
All right. Tell him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, baller is me. All right, let's bring it on. Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. We only got a few more panelists, and then we are out of here. All right. Good morning, Shay. How are you doing?
I am good. How are you?
I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom, tending to the affairs as usual.
I know it, right?
Yes.
I love it. Yeah, so I caught you in that live. 8v1 on, man, that was a group of the worst MAGAs on TikTok, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how you landed into that lottery.
Oh, well, when I show up over there, they always send Zeus a request because there's so many people that claim they're triggered by, what I say or what you say on this show, and they're just itching to let it all out, But, it's crazy, right?
It is. It's crazy. I was Lady Maverick, that racist woman. I said something about, laughed at something she said. She was like, "Oh, whatever, Shay. Everybody hates you. Are you even a woman?" I mean, it's just like, y'all are so ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Just silly stuff. I'm like, y'all are losing, and you're losing, and it's so ridiculous. But one of the things I wanted to encourage, and I can play it, but attacking, and I think Angela has it too. But we need to call out, if you haven't heard it, Mr. Nice Guy.
Oh.
Angelo.
Mr. Nice Guy? You got something on him?
Oh, yeah. So attacking, I don't know if you're here, or Angela, you have the recording to come up and play it.
Oh.
But he has been absolutely exposed as the racist we all knew he was. And yes, you have it. Okay, so if you want to bring up Angela, she can play it, because I think you have a big platform here, and I think it's important for everyone to understand who this man is. And MAGA, you need to make a decision if this is someone you want to still follow, if you want to still support. And okay, I'll give you one. Thanks, Angela. And you need to hear what he says, because it's important that people absolutely get exposed for this awful racism. And, I'm not into the cancellation culture. You do what you do, boo. You guys follow him if you want to and all that. But just know that when we see you in
this
there,
is one of their own. This is one of their own.
We know that you condone it. I mean, that's just a simple fact, right? You gotta be honest about it, right?
You gotta be honest. Yeah.
And you gotta pick what's right and what's wrong. And if just like we often say, whether you think Trump is racist in his heart or not is not the point. Why do the racists support him? So this is what we always ask you guys. I mean, that's why I would never vote for the man, even if I thought he did a decent job, even if I thought this about Biden. I can never support a man that racists absolutely follow because of his rhetoric, because of what he says about immigrants, what he has said about black NFLers, what he has said about all kinds of different things. It's just, he feeds that base because he can't get elected without that base.
Cut it out, conservative. Cut it out, conservative Democrat.
There's no evidence that he was a racist. None. Has he made dumb comments in the past and different stupid stuff like that? Yeah. But the racial jungle was not a racist comment. So, and him reading the N with a hard R word was not a racist comment. So you guys need to get absolutely educated. You're being told these lies. So, okay, here we go, Angela. Thanks, babe.
And you guys admit that the black people have the lowest IQ around. And that's a fact. You can Google that right now. That's why you guys are upset that you can't evolve in life, because the IQ won't let you. That's the problem. And if you want to talk about slavery
Disgusting.
If you didn't hear it, he said that black people have the lowest IQ. There you go.
I'll expose every single one of you. I'm nice until I see racist stuff, until I see men following little girls, bigots, homophobes. I'm going to call every single one of you out.
Wow. You're doing a good job, Ange and Shay, and thank you for doing this amazing work. See, it's not just Donald Trump that needs to be held accountable, right? It seems like this is the year of accountability for MAGA.
Yeah.
The racism, the bigotry, the misogyny, it's all coming out. And now you out there have to decide, do we want more of this or do we want to move ahead as a nation and do away with MAGA and their nasty, evil, vile rhetoric and behavior and conduct, these crimes against humanity, disgusting.
That's Mr. Nice Guy, aka Mr. Nice Felon for you. And that got put up and it was quickly taken down, but Angela saved it to her device. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's important that
did it look like he felt very comfortable saying that, by the way?
He was laughing.
Oh God, was he comfortable? Holy hell.
He was laughing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. See,
Yep.
that's the thing.
Yep.
And so when they go, well, all that stuff is in the past. We are ancestors. You know what they say when they're trying to sweep it under the rug. What do you have to say now, MAGA?
Yeah. That's MAGA right there.
Yeah.
Sorry I had to play that. I don't like seeing that out there. It can be very triggering to some people, but you need to know the truth. That's the truth. Truth is important.
Sick.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Shay, for bringing that up too.
Absolutely. It needs to be exposed, and and that's it. We've got to keep, obviously the community safe for our BIPOC, lovely human beings that we care about on this app, and people need to know what's going on, and that's it. And we're just going to keep calling it out. And again, who does Angelo support? Donald J. Trump. And every dang time we find it, every time.
Angelo is Mr. Nice Felon, in case they didn't know.
But is it sad, honestly, that to a certain degree we're not surprised?
No, yeah, it is sad, but you're right. We're not surprised.
You're right. You're right, Zeus. Absolutely.
I grew up with these people. I know these. It's just it's sad. It's just, that's what it is. That's why they attack the border like they do. They've always done that because it's the xenophobia. It's that we don't want our country to be less white than it is. The replacement theories, all of it. It's all plays down to every single bit of it. Why do you think, clickbait is now Jesus, right?
Yeah.
You got the other guy, and that might be little white privilege, saying he's white Jesus. Think about it. These are MAGA men literally labeling themselves as Christ. This is the problem.
And you got Donald Trump selling the Bible.
Yep.
Right. That part.
Put it all together, guys. You ever done a puzzle? This is real easy. Lay out all the pieces. When it starts to fit together, there it is.
Yep.
I mean, we're not sitting over here, hysterical or over, emotional and no, this is just real simple, guys. It just lay out the facts, put it all together, right?
Yep.
And yes, Jesus was BIPOC for sure. I mean, nobody was white in the desert. Like, give me a break.
Yep. You're right.
Stirred. Yeah, no.
Tell him.
Oh, he said these are two people who support a woman like Rosie O'Donnell. What's wrong with Rosie O'Donnell?
Yeah, exactly. What's wrong with Rosie?
Yeah, that's right. Talk about it first. We got to meet her, and she's a wonderful woman.
Absolutely wonderful woman. Are you confusing her with Roseanne Barr?
Yeah, right?
I think you are.
He's a moron. I'll drop now. Thanks for having me again.
I'll drop too, Zeus.
All right.
What's going on with your day? Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
Bye, guys.
As always, the beautiful Shay and beautiful Ange. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause. You see this? Your Majesty, do me a favor, Your Majesty. Go back to that rock you crawled from under and stay there. All right? Don't you dare come into my live unless you're willing to get in the box and defend your honor. Other than that, I'm going to do with you what I've been doing with all of the other MAGA demons. Sending your special behind straight to the pits of hell. because hell will be your portion right after jail and right after you go broke. Sick and deranged evil individuals every day. American people are getting numb a little bit to this MAGA nonsense, but not Zeus. I will continue to bring down this heavy hammer of truth on MAGA. Yeah, your majesty is sickening. Good morning, Miss Boss Diva. Hey, there you go.
Good
looking
morning,
good.
Zeus. How you doing?
How are you doing? Beautiful.
Listen, that dude, nice felon or whatever his name is, he is so disgusting. Like, I cannot stand him. I cannot stand him. So I'm going to tell you right now, Zeus, if I see him in here, okay, I am going to mute him for the entire live. Now, it's going to be up to you, of course, to, completely block him, but we both know, Zeus, that there is no get back with him. Like, there is no saving him. There is there's nothing to rescue with that. And there's just certain people that you really, really need to think about, still associating with your show, your platform, the kingdom, whatever. Okay, because it's people like that they're way too triggering. Okay, people can get hurt with people like that. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say on dude. But I wanted to show you something. Yeah. So at any rate, right? Mr. Ballhead here.
Oh my goodness.
He will be. He will be. Going to jail, MAGA. Okay. He's going to get convicted. He's going to get indicted again.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God.
Arizona. He's going to get indicted again in Michigan. Pennsylvania is not far behind, and every other state that he erected the fake electors.
Amen.
Everywhere that he went to put his thumbprint on trying to overturn the government, he is definitely going to be accountable for it. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. Okay?
Yep.
Doesn't matter how much he appeals. It doesn't matter how much he tries to circumvent what is inevitable. Okay? He's going to spend the rest of his natural life alone, broke, busted, disgusted, and incarcerated.
Bingo.
Okay?
Get him.
That's what's going to happen, MAGA. So, regardless to what earth you guys are living on, regardless to all of that, you will come to reality one way or the other. And like Zeus always says, you either going to, you're going to get that MAGA, that ultra MAGA
reward, jail.
But in the meantime, you're going to lose everything that you ever worked for.
Amen.
And all because of this man right here.
Amen.
Look at this face. Look at that face.
Yeah. Nothing honest about that businessman, right?
Not a thing. And it's really terrible that we have to get on our platforms and talk about you and your dumb disposition. This is the stupid people's president right here. Stupid people. Okay? You want to be stupid? Continue to support him. You, Retribution, MOD, all the rest of y'all, whoever. Y'all need to cut it out. Y'all need to cut it out.
Oh my God.
We're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
Day of reckoning. Tell him, Boss Diva.
Yeah, so anyway, he's going to jail.
Yeah.
Going to jail. You heard it here.
Tell him.
Thank y'all. He's going to jail.
Tell him. He is
all right,
going to
I love
prison.
you, Zeus. Thank you for having me up.
All right. I love you too. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Miss Boss Diva. All right, as you can see, it's definitely a day of truth. Yes, we will have to deal with this Mr. Nice Mr. I can't say Mr. Nice, but we will not allow the racism on this platform. All right, now let's move it along. Who is this? Actual fact. Greetings. How are you doing? Actual Shack. Greetings. How are you doing? Actual Fact Shack. Are you there? Going once? Going twice? Gone. All right. Well, listen. I guess I guess they just wanted to be a witness. Good morning, Takesha. How are you doing, Takesha?
Hey Zeus.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm okay. How you doing?
I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom, tending to the affairs as usual.
Let me do a little fact check right quick.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus was not white, nor was he ever white, nor were there any white people in the Bible.
Oh.
He was Middle Eastern.
Mm.
Knew the Bible, as you so-called Christians claim to be, you would know about the story where he had to flee to another spot where he hid among his people. There is no way a white man could have hid among Middle Eastern people and been safe. Now cut the crap with the white Jesus, because if that's what you look for when you get to the pearly gates and he send you to hell, you won't be finding that Jesus there. That's number one.
Oh
Number
my
two.
God.
Ain't nobody studying Alf from mouth, because that's what
CJD.
that's what Mr. Nice Guy looks like. If you're plain and brown, he could be the character on Alf with that big old nose where he can smell a storm coming from Saudi Arabia and he could be in Alabama. Now, his IQ is very low if he thinks that property with trees on it is not acreage on somebody else's land.
Oh
So he
God.
proves to us every time he gets in the box that he has an IQ lower than a rat running behind cheese that's sitting dead in his face.
Oh, Takesha, that's strong language right there, Takesha. That's some strong language.
Baby, I'm shook at him. He real ugly. And he need to turn the camera off when he talking about people. Now.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying though. I mean, a lot of these people, they don't realize, like you said, that they ain't that smart. Why do you think that is?
You know you're not smart when you saying, oh, that's just woods. Oh, that's acreage of land. What's wrong with you? But you talking about black people IQ low. Baby, find a friend. We built this country. It couldn't have been that low. Half of the stuff you use, we invented. You wouldn't have ate without us if we plowed your fields, poured your crops. You wouldn't have been able to eat. Brother, don't make me get on the black and what we've contributed to this country, baby.
Tell him, Takesha. He don't know black history.
Baby, he don't even know today history.
Oh.
So we know he don't know black history, baby.
You right about that. Pure ignorance. A lot of these Trump supporters have the same issue. They like to deny reality, which is, yeah, black people have contributed to the United States in a lot more ways than you could imagine.
Now, let me give you a rundown of what a white T man in America is. A bend over Bobby for Donald Trump. The hedgehog that we know as William Barr. Endorsing Donald Trump.
Wow.
Donald Trump comes back and says all the names he's called you and takes one name out. And you trying to talk all over the fact that this man that took you and put you on your knees and gave you the Vaseline to rub.
Ooh.
You're no better than layover Lindsey and Ted Cruz. All of you Trump supporter men are bent over.
Tell him, Takesha,
with Vaseline stuck up your butt.
Wow.
That's why we don't pay you no attention. That's why we have no respect for you. That's why every day we're gonna talk about you, because you're worth talking about, but not talking to.
Ooh.
Have a great day.
Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Takesha. No lies detected. You see, we knew this was going to come, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I was telling you all. As we get closer to Donald Trump going to prison, to all of my content creators out here, do not be alarmed at what MAGA is doing, because they're doing everything they can to distract you from focusing on Donald Trump going to prison. All of this stuff that's coming out, this is stuff Zeus is very understanding and familiar with, but it's not going to stop Zeus from bringing down this heavy hammer of truth. Yeah, all the racism's gonna come up, all the bigotry, all of the hooping and hollering is what they say in the church, right? All this hooping and hollering is gonna continue because the demon that's actually in control right now of a lot of these folks is going to have to start to reveal itself. Yeah, and I'm here for it, MAGA. I will see you all the way to your end. Okay? And like I said, if you don't want Zeus to keep bringing down this heavy hammer of truth, we got to agree on a lot of things. And as you can see, they're refusing to do it. So we're going to have to do this the hard way. Every single day, we're going to get a little closer, a little closer, a little closer to that justice point. And I want to make sure you all understand, when Donald Trump is convicted and when he is sentenced, I want you all to understand, I never ever stop saying it would happen. All right? Because I believe Donald J. Trump has met his end. All right? All right, let's bring up our next and final panelist, and then I got to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, good morning, Miss Morningstar. How are you doing?
Zeus, good morning. Good morning, brother. So I see the MAGA sexuals
oh my
are losing ground. We got you know, they're losing ground and they're panicking. They're windmilling in the air. They're throwing out words that don't make sense. Conspiracy theories. They're
making up lies. All right, I went to a live. Shay talked about it. I've said these people, they're going to use whatever trick in the book they can.
Whatever trick
to save
in
Donald
the book.
Trump. They are.
You know it, Zeus. You know it. And then you got Mr. Nasty Guy.
Yeah, we call him Mr. Nasty.
Yeah, Mr. Nasty Face, because he does have a very disgusting face. Just up here, you know, being racist and being a bigot, as if that works, sir. That doesn't work.
That doesn't move me.
That don't move us.
That doesn't move Zeus. That moved whoever you were, talking to. But Zeus is
I love to see him
I'm laser focused.
Yeah, I love to see him step his foot on MLK Drive somewhere.
Oh, you know about MLK Drive? Yeah.
We got one in every city, Zeus. MLK Drive.
Yeah.
And I want you to walk your little pinky toe, step your pinky toe in there, and say all that with your whole
Jesus
chest.
Christ.
Mr. Nasty Face.
You know, they don't say it online like that. They do that behind the scenes when they're around their own.
Always.
To make, because that's why I don't buy the tough guy act, right? It
don't work,
you really about that life? Take it there then.
You
That's
know he about Charmin. He about that Charmin life. Him and the Snuggles group and all the rest of they all about that soft batch cookie life. They really not about that real life. And I just need them to, chill out a little bit because we all know you've been exposed.
Valerie.
If you step foot into the hood, it's over.
Yeah. It's on and popping, is what you're saying?
It's on and popping. You already, I ain't never scared. And that's how we feel. What?
Yeah.
What? They don't know. I'm gonna keep it clean. I'm gonna keep it clean because I know you gotta wrap it up soon. So I'm gonna keep it clean. But we just gotta go ahead and know what this is gonna happen. These MAGA sexuals is falling apart, and we got a trial that starts again tomorrow. So old Frumpy Poopy Dump will be on the bench sweating because he cold, sweating out of fear because he cold and pooping on himself and letting loose ones go in the air, just being offensive to everybody. We know what he gonna do. It's already written it's already written out. We know, but he's at the end of his rope, so he's getting ready to hang himself because he doesn't know how to stop. He can't control that demon that's in him. He has the ultimate demon, right?
Yeah, ultimate MAGA demon.
That's right. So that ultimate demon is going to take over. He's going to get out here. He's going to violate the gag order again. I mean, it's already written, people. Retribution. Sir, we know you want to be down. You hang out in this chat. you hang out with us, you can't be part of our group. I'm sorry. You can't get in. So
Tell
I'm gonna
him.
need you to just sit your special behind down and listen to my brother's special broadcast retribution. And I am landing my plane, Zeus. Let's get it. Have a good day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to the beautiful Miss Morningstar. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this special broadcast, as Morningstar just said. And boy, oh boy, has it been quite the show. We've learned a lot today about the pressure that's on Donald Trump and his supporters. Make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, his supporters are terrified. They get on this app and they put on that strong bravado image. They try to get you all worked up. Don't fall for it. Keep staying on message and bringing the truth to the American people. Don't let these people get you off track and get you caught up in their nonsense. Oh, he's being a little racist. I'm not going there with you. I'll deal with that after Donald Trump goes to prison. Because I already knew you were racist when Obama was the president. Remember? That backlash about Obama, Obama was the most divisive president. Well, what did Obama do that made him so divisive, MAGA? Oh, well, Zeus. They don't want to say it, but they want to say he was a black president. And so we wanted retribution because we had a black president. And so that's why we went and got Donald Trump's racist behind, because he would say what we couldn't say. So your little racism games don't play with me. And listen, I know you got those folks on your side, those blacks for Trump, the ones that like the butter and the biscuits. I get it. So they make you feel like it's okay for you to be racist. But listen, I know there were black Confederates in the Civil War. That's not going to stop what we're doing. We're going to make sure we get every single one of you Trump supporters right where you want to be at, which is in jail. And if you don't get your soul right, hell, with a chapter 11 in between. Nothing makes Zeus happier, and you know what? You might not like it, but nothing makes Zeus happier than to know that when I show up in their spaces, they're uncomfortable. That makes my day. Oh, when you hear them calling Zeus nasty name, oh yeah, let it all out. Tell it to the judge. All right, and you're going to be doing exactly what Donald Trump is doing in that courtroom. You're going to do like this. You mean I got to go to jail? Yeah, you got to go. Why? Because you broke the law, and we got it all on tape. Listen up, Trump supporters. Get those knee pads and those elbow pads ready. Because Jack Smith, he's coming. You know who else is coming? Fonnie Willis, a black woman. Yeah. You see what Letitia James did? She cleaned this clock. That's another black woman. Oh, my goodness. And Alvin Bragg, a brother. We gonna get what we want. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. And stay safe out there on those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. It's over, MAGA. Yeah. You can post whatever you want on Truth Social, Donald Trump. I'm not gonna go there with you.
That's how I move when I'm walking like Zeus.
I do what Ron Rashawn does. Retribution, you cannot use my lingo, all right? Bama, thank you. Don't try to use my lingo, Retribution. Angelina, thank you. Angela, I should say, why did I say Angelina? Idaho Gal, all right, Shay, let's go. Ray, Karma, Herd, all right, Mount Negro. Let's go. Audit today. Oh my God, Lady Rima, Jen, all right. Yeah, all you Trump supporters, give us your best. I'm waiting to see it. I haven't seen you tap out yet, all right? That's the thing. I'm waiting to start seeing Trump supporters tap out. They are, I already got some of them. The Russian bears. You know what they say? Zeus, I'm blocking you. I don't ever want to talk to you again, Zeus. I know you don't. Because you know what I represent, right? Wink, wink. I'm not losing any sleep over you traitors. Yeah. You know, they don't even respond to my messages anymore. They used to always send me videos about Joe Biden, and they're not doing that anymore. Oh, no. All right, RN voting, thank you. They don't send me any videos no more. They don't like to invite me to their lives anymore. A couple of them do, all right? I had a good conversation with HVAC. Thank you, Dan. But to the rest of you MAGA demons, it's really over. All right? And that's just how the cookie crumbles, you know? All right, CCS, prayer for the tornado victims. Slick as Rick, all right? Yes, conservative Democrat is a kid who plays Fortnite. I agree. Yay! Thank you. You said there's no good conversation with HVAC? You know, when they start agreeing with you, that's progress, right? All right, Ray, thank you. All right. You know I'm so handsome. That's why they call me Zeus. Bad Muse is an angel next to Retribution. Wow, yeah. All right, love you, Dan. I get my main back on April 1st, so I should be back April 2nd on it. All right, Lady Rima, let's go. Z-Pac, I see you. All right.
I just want to buy
Queen Flea.
11,700.
See you, Brown Eyes. Dark Yazzie, thank you.
One more than we have.
Uh-oh. Here we go. Not it. Whoa, May, I'm sorry, Boss Diva. You're right. Thank you, PA. Hit him with the Jack Smith remix, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
He's deranged.
Cole.
Jack Smith. He's deranged.
Hey.
Jack Smith. You heard about him. He's deranged. Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith.
Donald Trump
is indicted,
and they take one charge and they turn it into 36 charges.
And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's a Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump hater.
That's right. All right. Now listen, I got to get up out of here, but you know what we got to do.
Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of courage.
There you go. All right, and on that note, let's drop the bomb, ladies and gentlemen. Let's drop the bomb.
You have a problem. You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
That's right, you ain't black. You ain't nothing but a modern day slave. I am out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Take care.